What's your title?
I'm the co-chair of the Eastern PA chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Okay, so talk to me about what event is going on here today in Allentown.
So one of our priorities is support for survivors of suicide loss, people who have struggled, and also people that have attempted. So this is the event that's dedicated solely towards them, right? We use it as a fundraiser, but the first priority is come out with your community members, share some good memories of your lost loved one, meet some other people that have also gone through this or going through this pain that they are, yet you're not alone, and then just have an opportunity to meet some of the resources in the marketplace, have a good time, try to network, and just share some things because people who struggle and have lost somebody to suicide don't get this opportunity in a lot of cases to let some of their emotions come out, let some of their joy come out, and this is one opportunity for them to do that. I've already given them a number of hugs for people that are crying.
So you're already seeing the impact, and the walk hasn't even started yet.
Yes, yeah. We've been doing this for a number of years, and people come up, and if there's pictures they see or something that triggers them, yeah, it's becoming emotional, and it's an opportunity for them to everybody to come together.
And now, it's not just the walk. I'm sure there's a lot of days, weeks, months leading up to this. Can you tell us a little bit about, some of the work that makes this day possible?
Yeah, we start probably in the December, January timeframe planning this. There's a walk committee that comes together. We meet monthly, weekly as it gets closer. We work closely with the city of Allentown Parks and Rec, which is great to work with. And then we work with the Women's 5K as well. So there's a bunch of groups that work together to kind of share costs and put these events together for the community. And then we meet monthly and we plan to, there's a lot that goes into this. And, we have a lot of good people doing a lot of good things for this walk.
And why do you walk?
I walk because in 2014 I lost my 19-year-old son. Now you're going to trigger me. I lost my 19-year-old son to suicide, and my first walk, and I will tell you, my first walk, we came here the year that we lost Josh, and there was 500 people here. Pre-COVID, we had an upwards of 2,000. Today we'll probably hit 11 or 1,200 people. So the good news is that the news of the walk getting out is more in getting out into the community more so people know they can come out. But the bad news is that more people are being touched by this tragedy that doesn't have to be.
And how does it, help you personally?
Doing this is kind of therapeutic for me. Just being able to share my story. I've shared Josh's story a number of times because he struggled in silence like a lot of people do from depression and anxiety. And it's kind of helped me meet people. It's kind of helped me just kind of be, like I said, be therapeutic for me to talk about it.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Struggling, anybody has a hard time, if you go to afsp.org, there is a support group in the Lehigh Valley. It meets once a month at Lehigh Valley Hospital in Allentown. So that's available to you if you just look it up. And the facilitators, one of them is actually Tina. The facilitators are here. As well as if you want to get more involved, and this may be difficult at times, but both counties, Lehigh County and Northampton County, have created what's called a loss team. And the loss team is actually for anybody who actually experiences a loss through suicide. Is nothing like people who have gone through the struggle, have living with the struggle, understand what that pain looks like. If you're interested at all in getting more information in either county, the Lehigh County Task Force has a table right here, the purple at the very end. There's free training. You'll be trained for everything you need to do that. If you want to get more involved, you do need to be a few years outside of your loss because it can be very difficult from an emotional standpoint. But if you're interested in getting more involved, I know a lot of people ask. They get you more involved in your community to support each other to go through the struggle.
Morning, everyone. I've had the honor of speaking at this event for quite a few years now. In fact, some of you are probably tired of hearing from me. But every time I'm here, I'm struck that this event, and I do a lot of events, this event has one of the most unique combinations of emotions that you can have. On one hand, you have a sense of heaviness that obviously comes in looking at people who have lost someone so dear to them. I can't tell you every year how painful it is on a personal level to see those of you with shirts with slogans or hashtags or pictures of someone you've lost. And I can't imagine what that is like for you. But on the other hand, this is also an event where so many of you, including myself as someone who's been there, can find joy and can find peace and can find community, and for a few hours be surrounded by people who have lost someone so dear to them, but near to them, the only ones. And for a few moments, even if it's just when one of the dogs here jumps on you, forget about your pain and find a sense of hope. I am in my 6th term as a Pennsylvania state representative, and during that time I have definitely seen a very positive shift towards an increased awareness about the issues caused by mental illness and suicide and the need to do more. And the need to do more really is there, because last year we lost about 2,000 people in Pennsylvania. Nationwide suicide numbers, after taking a low around the time that COVID hit, started to unfortunately increase again. At the federal level and at the state level, I hope you all understand that you have friends who are dedicated not just to standing in front of a microphone and talking, but putting our money where our mouth is. In Pennsylvania this year, hopefully, we're going to invest an additional $100 million to school-based mental health and $100 million to adult-based mental health. And that's in addition to $20 million for our counties and setting up permanent funding for our 988 crisis prevention hotline and text line, which is so important, especially right now. And you need to know that in the Lehigh Valley, in addition to me, you have champions in that with Congresswoman Wild, who we'll be hearing from shortly. Taking a step back, in addition to being a state representative, I am somebody who suffers from a major depressive disorder or generalized anxiety disorder, who sees a therapist on a regular basis, who starts their day with medication, and who at one point seriously considered suicide. And I always mention that to make a point. Congresswoman Wild and I have in different ways experienced really traumatic losses and been impacted very heavily by mental illness and suicide. And I'm lucky in that while it was almost me, I've never lost somebody close to me to suicide. So I will not be so arrogant as to put myself in your shoes, except to offer you this much. And as I was literally just saying a moment ago, when I started talking about my own mental illness, I had a lot of people come up to me and say that I got therapy because of the words that you said. And if you can beat it, maybe I can too. And I don't mention that to be egotistical or to compliment myself, but to make a point. In this walk with your shirts, with your conversations, with the money that you raise, to whatever extent possible, I hope you know you can give your loss meaning. Because there are people out there whose lives you will save by the money that you raise and by the conversations that you have. And for those of you who are struggling with the loss of a loved one, I genuinely can't imagine what that feels like, but I hope you know that what you are doing today and what you do tomorrow and the next day and how you carry that loss within you and how you express it to others, please know you can save lives and stop somebody else from going through the pain that you are unquestionably experiencing right now. And to take your pain and to turn it into hope for someone else requires a level of resilience that I cannot comprehend. So as a state representative, but more importantly, as someone who's been there and who was quite literally almost there from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the work that you're doing, and please know it does make a difference. And on that note, it is my honor to introduce my friend and a partner in mental health and a friend to all of us here, I think, Congresswoman Susan Wild.
To tell you, I'm Susan Wild, first of all. I have to tell you that I am so happy to be with all of you today, even on the occasion of this. It's a sad day, but at the same time, it's a happy day because so many people are coming together. So many people are raising the awareness of suicide and the need for suicide prevention and the need for good, robust mental health care, and to be here to support others. And so that's what makes it a happy day. But it truly is a matter of bringing this out of the darkness, bringing this subject out of the darkness, speaking about it, whether you have a public platform like Mike and I do, or even if you're just talking to friends and family and coworkers, talking about it helps. We've come a long way in reducing the stigma in this country about seeking mental health care. Having said that, we haven't come far enough. It is still something that people are reluctant to share. It's still something that people sometimes joke about. But as we all share experiences in our own lives, in our families' lives, our friends' lives, we will help to bring this out of the darkness. Speaking of which, a sun could break through right now and bring us out of the darkness, and it would feel really good, wouldn't it? I just want to tell you, Mike made reference to this. I have a deep personal investment in this. I'd likely be here with all of you, even if I didn't. But losing the love of my life to suicide 5 months into my first term in Congress changed my thinking forever on the subject of mental health care, on the subject of suicide prevention. And I'm sorry that it took something like that to make me realize just how important it was that we devote more in this country to mental health care resources. I'm happy with a lot of the progress that we've made. We have the 988 suicide line right here in Allentown. The 8th Street Bridge had barriers put up. There's a lot being done, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done, and we need to understand that the causes of suicide are varied, multi-level, that they cross all boundaries, all ages, all ethnicities, and we can't treat this as a one-size-fits-all problem. So I just want to make sure that we are continuing to elevate this subject. I will be fighting in Congress. I could probably end that sentence right there, but I will be fighting in Congress to make sure that we are devoting as much in the way of resources as we can, not only to educational programs, not only to making sure that our local community partners, like the suicide prevention folks, like Pine Brook, like all of our wonderful people who are represented here at the various tables, not only to make sure that they get support at the federal level, but also that we are doing more to attract people to the field of mental health as a profession. One of our number one problems right now is we do not have enough providers. I cannot tell you how many people I hear from who are looking for a mental health provider. And boy, if you're looking for an adolescent mental health provider, you're really coming up short. You're probably traveling to Philadelphia or something like that, and even then, it takes forever to get appointments and that kind of thing. We must have people in the field to work with people who are suffering with mental health issues. And the only way we're going to do that is to absolutely provide incentives to people to go into the field. And if anybody wants to know more about what my ideas are, I'm happy to tell you. I'll be here for a while, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But that, to me, is one of our number one demands, one of our number one issues that we have to tackle. As I said, we've done a good job of lessening the stigma, but it doesn't do you any good to recognize that you have something that needs treatment if you aren't able to get that treatment. Again, and I mentioned Pine Brook. Thank you, NAMI, for being here. Great organization locally that's done so much to help people and particularly to fill that gap where we don't have enough providers and to provide the kinds of services. And both counties have wonderful organizations, but we must make sure that we are building on our field of professionals in this area. So with that, I'm just going to say, I'm with you. I support all of you. And I will do everything I can to make sure that we are honoring your loved ones who you may have lost to suicide by making sure that we are tackling this problem and preventing as many suicides as possible.
Cherie, message to Sophia is, you are a survivor, and I admire and love you for your tenacity and your fighting spirit. The struggle is real. I see you. I hear you. You are living one day at a time and living a life worth living. For those survivors out there, please remember there is hope, and it's okay to reach out. We love you. I hope as a community we can continue to support our loved ones and educate ourselves to destigmatize mental health. Whew. for that. These beads, these courageous people who are willing to come up here today, they represent all our dedication, our commitment, and our strength to the community. We are united in a goal to determine to bring suicide prevention out of the darkness and save lives. Please raise your hands up high. Show them. Thank you.
So we lost our son back in October of '81 to suicide. So we didn't make any until this year. So this is the first one, and we'll be here every year from now on. It's a great event.
All right. Well, I'm wearing the blue one to support suicide prevention and awareness, and the orange one because I lost my brother 22 years ago.
Support suicide prevention for multiple reasons. I had a nephew who committed suicide. My son's football coach, Liberty, committed suicide. Also had my son, when he was on drill in the Army, had one of his brothers commit suicide. And I had my best friend attempted. Thank God she's still here with us today. So this cause means a lot to me and many people. Mental illness and depression and anxiety is a real struggle for people. Many don't understand and don't face the issues. But those who do need to stay together and help support each other.
What about that stuff?
Okay? All these bees represent different colors. Different colors represent things. Someone you lost, it might have been a family member, somebody who attempted it, and then the blue is for prevention, to make awareness. Glory is for my nephew whom I lost, and Dolores is my best friend, who we still have here today. We're saved by the grace of God. So we're trying to get the voice out there, make people aware, and this is a great walk. It's called Get Out of the Darkness, because depression brings you to a dark place. So we all need to shine a light and help each other.
Lost team. The lost team is 2 volunteers, one of whom lost someone to suicide. The other is a concerned citizen. They go to the newly bereaved family who lost someone to suicide. They provide a basket of resources, and they are a beacon of hope. They are a beacon of hope because they are standing erect and dressed. And as you know, someone in that circumstance who just lost someone can't even conceive of moving forward. But being a beacon of hope provides that family with the information, the basket of resources, that indeed there is hope. The team is trained 4 days worth, and the team is not a counselor. They don't fix it, and it's not about telling their story. It's about just being there and saying, I too lost someone to suicide. There's 4 days worth of training, 2 in October, 2 in November. If you come to the October training with Dr. Frank Campbell and you feel it's not for you, that's all right. And if you want to be a lost team member, you definitely need to come to the November training, November 1 and 2, because that's the nuts and bolts training. That's the what to say, what not to say. So, Lehigh or Northampton County, wherever you live, we'll take you both. And that's that. That's the lost team.
And what is the website that they can get on here? Is it on the Facebook page?
It is. It's on the Facebook page and it's on my card.
Okay. Thank you so much
Prevent
for your
Suicide
time.
LC. Yep, Prevent Suicide LC for Lehigh County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll start tonight. You'll learn to cry like me. Maybe just you wait and see. Maybe I'll start tonight. Do things right.